We have a lot of IKEA furniture. The IKEA bed, IKEA couch, IKEA reading chair, coffee tables, other tables, the list goes on. And over the years, we've replaced a lot of furniture that was, you guessed it, IKEA with more IKEA furniture. And spending so much time at home these past couple years has really got me thinking, what are my favorite pieces of IKEA furniture that we own? So in this video, I'm gonna be ranking each and every piece of furniture that we own that is from IKEA using a simple ranking system based on the following criteria. Number 1, usefulness. Number 2, style. And number 3, wow factor. Each piece of furniture will get a rating based on these criteria from 1 to 10. With 10 being the best marks. And at the end of this video, I'll reveal where each piece of furniture ranks compared to the others. All right, let's begin. We begin in the living room, and our apartment is about 750 square feet. We have one bedroom, and our living and dining space is kind of connected all the way to the kitchen. And so we're gonna start here in the living room, and we're starting with this LISTERBY side table. This is a really, really cool round side table. It goes really, really well with a lot of different things. As far as usefulness goes, I'm giving this table about a 6 because it does have space underneath for extra things like books, maybe a small basket, something like that. And the top is nice and big and it'll hold everything you need to, such as, mugs for drinking coffee or tea, books, candles, things like that. So a 6 for usefulness, and I'm giving it a 7 for style. I really like the fact that it's circular. I like that the legs are visible and attached kind of on the outside of the circles. It's kind of a unique design, and I think it goes really well with a lot of different pieces of furniture and goes really well with the chair that you can see behind me here. So in total, the LISTERBY gets 18 points. Moving on to the reading chair you see behind me. That is the Strandmon chair from IKEA, and we have it in a decent green color. For usefulness, I'm giving this chair a 6. You might sit there and write in a journal or read a magazine, things like that. It's really just for sitting, maybe sleeping, and other than that, not much else. But the Strandmon is really strong in style. Even though ours is kind of a weird green color, we got it secondhand, so we didn't really have a choice there. I give it an 8 for style. The shape of the chair is something that could go with many different styles of interior design, and it's a piece of furniture that I think we're gonna have for a really long time because it kind of has that timeless look. We might end up reupholstering it into a different color or different fabric at some point if we end up moving into a house, for example. And because I like the chair so much, I'm actually giving it an 8 for wow factor as well. It's a piece that you can kind of leave by itself, maybe just put a table next to it and it'll look really nice, or you can decorate it more with something like a pillow and a throw blanket to really level it up if you want. Yeah, it's very versatile. So in total, the Strandmon chair gets 22 points. Okay, next up is the wonderful FRIHETEN sleeper sectional couch. Now, this couch is pretty incredible. IKEA is known to have furniture that has multi-use and also has storage built into it. This is one of their best examples. Now, this couch has storage in one side and you lift it up and there's a lot of space there for things like pillows, board games, movies, things like that. Something that we actually put a lot of stuff in, and we don't access it too regularly, but it is really nice living in an apartment to have that extra space. And the other really cool thing about this couch is that you can pull out the section under the longest part and actually convert it into what is basically a full-size bed. So when we've had our parents over or guests over, they have actually slept on that couch with a little pillow topper on top to make it more comfortable. It's pretty awesome to be able to offer that in our small living room here. For those reasons, I am giving this couch a 10 out of 10 for usefulness. It's that good. Now for style, it kind of lacks a little bit. I'm giving it a 6. It's sort of modern looking. It does kind of go with other pieces of furniture, but the style's quite bland, and I think that it's not the most stylish thing that you could find at IKEA as far as a couch goes, but again, it kind of weighs more heavily in the usefulness factor. As for wow factor, I'm giving it a 7. And the reason for that is that one of the things that's really cool about it is it has a nice big back to it, which if you're in an apartment, it really helps to divide the space. It's somewhat pleasing to look at, I mentioned style already, and it's a useful piece to have. So overall wow factor, I'm giving it a 7. So in total, the FRIHETEN couch gets 23 points. Okay, now we have the Stockholm table. which I also like to call the surfboard table because it looks like a surfboard. We actually have an older version of this table, and it's one that was kind of a hand-me-down from my parents. They used to have it in their living room in their house. It is a little bit big for our apartment and our space. We do like to put a lot of food on it if we're eating down here, and so it's really useful for that. I gave it a usefulness score of 7, and style, I also gave it a score of 7, and actually I also gave it a wow factor of 7. The color of it is really nice. I just think that if we had a slightly bigger space, it would fit that space a little better. The Stockholm table gets a total of 21 points. All right, next one is a fun one, the lack table. It costs the grand total of $20 at IKEA, and it's definitely the most basic piece of furniture that we own that is from IKEA. We mainly use this table as a plant stand for our Monstera plant and a few books and candles as well. As for usefulness, I'm gonna give it a 4. It's somewhat useful. It's a small table. For style, I'm actually just giving it a 2. It's nothing special to look at. And wow factor, it doesn't stand out at all compared to the other furniture, so I'm giving it a 2 there as well. So in total, the lack table is lacking and it gets 8 points. Okay, next up is the BEKANT desk. Now, this desk we got secondhand. In fact, many of the pieces of furniture we're covering in this video, we got secondhand. This one we got for a whopping $80, which is great because it can go up to $200 to $300 depending on which of these BEKANT desks you get. We got a right-hand corner desk and it fits perfectly in this little corner we have in our living space. I've been using it a lot since we've been working from home off and on the past couple years. I'm giving the BEKANT a 10 out of 10 for usefulness for a couple of reasons. And the first of those reasons is it's big. If you've used any other IKEA desks, such as the Mickey desk, for example, the Mickey desk feels really small. When you upgrade from a Mickey desk to the BEKANT desk, it's impressive how much space this thing has. It can certainly fit monitors and computers, also have room for other things like drawing, or if you build Legos like me, use it for Legos. Other things like that. You can do projects on this desk. It's great for that sort of thing. So it's really, really big. Now, the other really cool thing about it is there's actually storage underneath the desk. There's this netting that is connected, and so you can kind of hide your cords and other things underneath there, and that is really, really useful. So 10 out of 10 for usefulness. I'm actually gonna give it an 8 out of 10 for style as well. It's really, really clean on the top. There's nice rounded corners on it. I really like the corner desk as well. It adds kind of a little bit of intrigue to the table. It's also very minimal, actually, despite being such a large desk surface area-wise. From the side, it doesn't actually look like it takes up a whole lot of space. It's got these nice thin legs that are really sturdy, but are pretty minimal to the eye. Now for wow factor, I'm just gonna give it a 6. It's not the most exciting thing when you walk into the apartment. It is just a desk after all. It's got some cool features, but yeah, just a 6. So in total, I think that brings this desk to 24 points. Okay, next up we have the HELMER drawer unit on casters or wheels. Now, I got the one in black from IKEA. Now, this goes underneath that BEKANT desk that I just covered, and it's really nice. It's very useful. So it's got 6 different drawers. It is made of metal, so it does make a little bit of noise when you're opening and closing the drawers, but honestly, it's not been that bad. For usefulness, I'm giving this an 8. For style, it's not much to look at. It's pretty plain. It looks a little too industrial for my liking for a home, and so I'm actually gonna give it a 4. And for wow factor, I'm just giving it a 5. So in total, if my calculations are correct, that gives the HELMER drawers 17 points. Rounding out our living space is the Lommarp TV stand / credenza. We definitely don't use it for a TV, and we have it over near to the kitchen, and we actually use this beautiful piece of furniture for storing a lot of kitchen supplies and kitchen tools. So living in a small apartment, there isn't a whole lot in the way of storage space in the cabinets in our kitchen, and so we got this piece recently to help with that. And one of the things that's really, really cool about this is it's both got a lot of storage, but it's also really beautiful. For style, for the Lommarp TV stand credenza, I'm actually giving it a 10 out of 10. And the main reason for that is that it's got a really nice kind of traditional modern feel to it. It's the kind of furniture that goes really well with many different styles. Kind of like the Strandmon chair, it has a timeless quality to it, and it's something that we certainly want to keep with us for a long time. So yeah, 10 out of 10 for style. For usefulness, I'm giving it an 8, and that is because it's got a lot of storage. We're able to put a stand mixer and other kitchen supplies in there, no problem. So it's really nice to have it for its storage space. Now for me, I'm giving the Lommarp an 8 for wow factor. Again, it's something that is very exciting to me because it felt like a finishing touch for our place. It felt like something that elevated the space, super easy to maintain and clean, looks beautiful, has a lot of storage. It does stand out when you walk into the apartment, I think because of the color and the style. Now we're actually going to move to the bedroom, and there's 3 pieces of furniture in the bedroom that I'm going to cover from IKEA. The first one is the MALM bed. This bed is really useful because of the storage. This is a running theme in this video. The MALM bed has a lot of options for storage, so you can get drawers that go with it, and they're a pretty good size. You can also get the bed without anything underneath it, and because it is raised off the ground quite a bit, you could put your own boxes or storage solutions under there. Again, living in a small apartment, storage is super important. We sacrificed a little bit on the style side with this bed to get a little bit more out of the usefulness with it, with the storage. So 9 for usefulness. For style, I'm actually just giving it a 5. It's got kind of a generic modern look to it. There's not a whole lot going for it otherwise in the style department, and you kind of have to elevate it through the bed sheets and pillows and things that you put on the bed. And for wow factor, similarly, I'm just giving it a 6. It's not anything special to look at. When you walk into the bedroom, really the only thing that catches your eye about it is probably the size. And so yeah, wow factor 6. In total, the MALM bed gets 20 points. Now next to that MALM bed, we have 2 of the BRIMNES side tables, and they're really cool. We really like these side tables. They've got a lot of surface area on the top for things like tea, books, alarm clock, lamps, things like that. So that's useful. It's also got quite a bit of storage in it. It has a lower drawer that has a cloudy glass panel in it, so you can kind of see that there's something in there, but you can't see what the item actually is. And so that's really nice for privacy reasons, especially we're talking about the bedroom. There's many different things you might put in a side table in a bedroom. So it's got good storage there. It's also got a little shelf that sits directly under the top of it, and that's really useful. So for usefulness, I gave it an 8. For style, I gave it a 6. Again, similarly to the MALM bed, it's got kind of a generic style to it. It's very modern, and it could be used in many different contexts as a side table for a bed, maybe next to a desk, and that's nice. But again, stylistically, it's nothing to bat your eye at. And lastly, wow factor, I gave it a 5. And so the BRIMNES bedside table gets a total score of 19 points. All right, now the last piece of furniture we have from IKEA is the KOPPANG 6-drawer dresser. And we actually have a much older version of this. Again, something we got secondhand. This is what they currently offer at IKEA that is the closest equivalent, okay? So for usefulness, I'm giving this an 8, and that's because it's got a lot of storage space. It's a dresser, it's got nice big drawers, they open really cleanly, there's 6 of them, and we fit most of our clothes in there that we're not hanging up in the closet. So really useful. Now for style, I'm giving it a 4. It's one of the weaker ones that we have in the apartment stylistically. It's not something that anyone's gonna turn their eye at. It's just a dark, bulky, rectangular thing. So yeah, 4 points. And for wow factor, similarly, it's just getting a 3. And so the KOPPANG dresser gets a total of 15 points. Okay, it's time for the big reveal. Let's see how these pieces of furniture stacked up against one another. In last place, coming as no surprise, we have the LAC table. Now, this only got 8 points, and it's the weakest piece of furniture that we have across many different criteria. Number 10, we have the KOPPANG dresser in the bedroom with 15 points. Number 9, we have the HELMER drawer unit with 17 points. Number 8, the circular LISTERBY side table with 18 points. Number 7, the BRIMNES bedside table with 19 points. We have 2 of those tables. Number 6, the MALM bed frame, 20 points. Number 5, the Stockholm surfboard coffee table with 21 points. Number 4, the Strandmon wingback chair with 22 points. And now we're getting to the top 3. Number 3, the FRIHETEN couch. That is 23 points. One of our best pieces of furniture from IKEA. At number 2, we have the BEKANT desk with 24 points. And coming up in first place, the best piece of IKEA furniture that we own is the Lommarp TV stand / credenza. And that got a whopping 26 points out of a possible 30. So that's it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you're anything like me and you love interior design, then I invite you to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss my next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around. Lack, Strandmon, Listerby, BRIMNES, FRIHETEN, Lommarp. These names.